Trial of the tribal chief. You're looking at the judge, the jury, and the executioner right now.
Is Jey Uso the right man to dethrone Roman Reigns for the WWE Universal Championship? He probably is morally, after all the torture and mind games he's endured at the hands of his evil cousin, Roman Reigns. He has the motivation. But should he be the one to dethrone Reigns at SummerSlam 2023? Probably not, and here's why. Watching this video and you're following everything with WWE, you probably know that WWE is planning a massive, very personal main event title match between Jey Uso and Roman Reigns, nearly 3 years after they first competed against each other at Clash of Champions in 2020. The circumstances between then and now are very different. That was the beginning of the bloodline. Eventually, Jey got in line with Roman's vision and then broke from it. And while we're currently seeing the possible end of it, does that mean it needs to end at SummerSlam? Logically, if you were to name the 5 best candidates to dethrone Roman Reigns and end his history-making Universal Championship run, Jey Uso is arguably the number 1 guy. The story began with Jey, and should it end with Jey? Well, it's just not that simple. We don't know for sure if Triple H has thought of the end game for Roman Reigns and his Universal Championship run, but given that we're only 9 months away from the money-making madness that is WrestleMania 40, there could be something in place. Here are a few issues with Jey Uso ending Roman Reigns' title run at SummerSlam, and maybe why it shouldn't happen. Get into the comments below and tell us why you think it should or should not happen. For one, SummerSlam takes place on August 5th, 2023, meaning that if Reigns loses, he will be just 26 days shy of hitting a full 3 years as Universal Champion. And while Triple H's approach of everybody having long title reigns hasn't been that perfect across the board in the eyes of some, this is an understandable milestone that some would think they would want to get to. But they already got to 1,000 days. Do you need 3 years? Yeah, we're getting into the numbers, everybody. Oh, I can hear the nerds in the comments. Roman Reigns is already the 5th longest reigning champion in WWE history. While he isn't going to come close to the length of the great Bruno Sammartino, Bob Backlund, or Hulk Hogan, it's going to be the longest we see in a long time, possibly even decades when you consider how fast fans consume content and spit it back out and change their opinion and get jaded about something. Secondly, is SummerSlam really the right time to end such a historic run? We keep using that word because there's a lot of history here. While we agree that SummerSlam is certainly big enough of an event to have a monumental title shift, the timing just doesn't feel right. Odd, we know, especially considering that it's nearly 3 years, but that's exactly why it isn't the right time or place to end it at all. Reigns hasn't defended the title in over 100 days. Yeah, you call yourself a champion, you don't defend the belt? Come on, Roman. And to end his run this way seems a little too abrupt. It might leave some sense of disappointment. Even if you want to see the moment, is it the right time for the moment? Now, here's the part that many fans often forget about when it comes to such a big decision. There needs to be a long-term plan in place for a superstar who does eventually get the rub of rubs by taking that title off of Roman. Although Jey Uso may not and probably shouldn't be the next Universal Champion, I know some people are screaming at us, it's hard to deny that he hasn't gotten the rub already for being near and in and around and clashing with Roman Reigns. I know, the idol worship here for Roman Reigns, I can hear it. Jey Uso became the first man in 3.5 years to pin Roman Reigns. That's right, he wasn't pinned or submitted in nearly 3 years. Yes, I know some people pinned him and the referee was bumped out of the ring, but he's the one who actually did it. And that isn't something that's going to be forgotten easily. He became main event Jey Uso through this run and became distinguishably a strong character from his brother Jimmy for almost the first time in his career. He wasn't just Jey of the Usos, he was Jey Uso. Everybody knows who Jey is in the wrestling world, and if he's headlining SummerSlam, you can guarantee that he's going to look good even in defeat. Many already have at the hands of Roman, but many forget that WWE may not actually have anything concrete in place should Jey Uso be the one to dethrone Roman Reigns. Or maybe they do, we don't know, we're just speculating here. So now that we've gone on for a few minutes here about why Jey Uso shouldn't dethrone the tribal chief, it begs the question, who should? There are other numbers you can factor in here besides the amount of days that he's been champion. Like, that's just a trivia answer, right? What about the real answers to why is this title reign going on for so long? Because fans are interested. The Trial of Roman Reigns, a segment that aired on SmackDown from the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, was one of the most watched TV segments across the entire genre of pro wrestling and scored huge TV numbers for WWE and Fox in the United States. No matter how much very loud, angry fans freak out and scream to the heavens that Roman snuck out of WrestleMania 39 with the title, those same fans are probably still anticipating and following for the moment, that monumental moment in which he loses it. The hook is in. They got you hooked, and they are going to reel you in for even more. If widespread reports and widespread speculation is to believe, then WWE has a big rematch planned between Roman Reigns and the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40, which would follow the near title loss that Roman Reigns had at WrestleMania 39 and end this title run of title runs. If it ends then, his run will have concluded at 1,315 days, or else we're going to see a fourth WrestleMania in a row with Roman Reigns standing tall again. One thing is certain, if Cody Rhodes is the one to end it for Roman, then there's a plan in place, because WWE's had a villain in Roman Reigns at the top, a heel, and they haven't had a company number one babyface guy with that title for a couple of years now. Cody seems like the guy who could carry that type of flag and carry that type of energy.